Welcome to episode 6 of About Our World. Today's video is our first species profile. Today, we're going over elephants. First things first, my favorite animal is the African elephant. And I love elephants as a whole. Elephants are the largest land animals alive today, the African bush elephant being the largest, at 24 feet long, 11 feet tall at the shoulder, and weighing up to 13,000 pounds. There are two genera of elephants alive today: Loxodonta, the African elephants, and Elephas, the Asian elephants. Within those genera, there are two distinct species of African elephant: the African bush elephant, Loxodonta africana, and the African forest elephant, Loxodonta cyclotis. There is one species of Asian elephant, Elephas maximus. Within that species, there are four species of Asian elephant: the Sri Lankan elephant, Elephas maximus maximus, the Indian elephant, Elephas maximus indicus, the Sumatran elephant, Elephas maximus sumatranus, and the Borneo elephant, also called the Bornean pygmy elephant, Elephas maximus borneensis. Elephants are, as stated in the last video, some of the most intelligent creatures alive today. African and Asian elephants are very different. For one, the trunks. Elephants have fingers at the end of their trunks. These are used to increase dexterity when picking up and holding things. African elephants have two fingers, while Asian elephants only have one. Their ears are also different. An African elephant's ears can, on average, grow up to be 2 meters by 1.5 meters in dimensions. However, an Asian elephant's ears will only reach dimensions of 1.8 meters by 1.5 meters at maximum. The African species have more wrinkled skin as they live in a drier environment and also have tusks always present in both genders, whereas females are less likely to have tusks in Asian elephants. The story of how female Asian elephants with tusks began to decrease is a prime example of observable natural selection. In Asian elephants, tusklessness is a sex-linked recessive trait, meaning the alleles for the trait lie in the X or Y chromosomes. For more info on heredity and how alleles and genes work, click the link in the cards above, or the first link in the description for a video from Crash Course. For the gene that expresses tusks, the Y chromosome always carries the dominant allele, as bull elephants need tusks to fight other bulls for access to mating rights. However, females only need tusks to defend their calf from predators. Because of this, females have a recessive allele on their X chromosome which expresses tusklessness. If a recessive allele from a male and a recessive allele from a female are passed down to the offspring, it will be a tuskless female. But even if one dominant allele is passed down, or a Y chromosome is passed down, the offspring will have tusks. Now to the natural selection part of it. Ever since poaching started in Asia, there has been an increase in tuskless females. Since poachers will only kill elephants who have tusks, a tuskless female is more likely to reproduce and pass down her genes. This means that the male's X chromosomes are more likely to contain the recessive allele, and most females carry the recessive allele in both X chromosomes. That is natural selection in its purest form. The change in allele frequencies in a population over successive generations. The allele frequency of the recessive allele changed from low frequency to high frequency over successive generations. Elephants are, of course, mammals. But what kind of mammals? First, they're placentals, meaning they don't prematurely give birth to a joey who lives in the mother's pouch, like a marsupial, and they don't lay eggs, like a monotreme. Are they closely related to other pachyderms like rhinos? No. Elephants actually belong to a clade called Afrotheria, which is thought to be the oldest of the placentals who branched off from the rest around 110 million years ago. This was when Africa split off from the supercontinent Gondwana, which consisted of Africa, South America, and Australasia. This left the mammals in Africa isolated, perfect for filling new niches in Africa's no doubt changing climate for the next 100 million years. The Afrotheres consist of the Proboscideans, or elephants, tenrecs, aardvarks, xenarthrans such as sloths, anteaters, and armadillos, golden moles, elephant shrews, hyraxes, and sirenians such as manatees and dugongs. Of those, elephants are most closely related to sirenians, hyraxes, and tenrecs. But you didn't want to hear me talk about elephant shrews. You wanted me to talk about mammoths, right? No? Well, I want to talk about them, so get ready. First, you might be asking, how did Proboscideans get to Eurasia and North America if they originated in Africa? The answer is simple: the Middle East. The Middle East connects the entirety of the Old World, which is Africa, Asia, and Europe, meaning the Proboscideans were able to migrate to Eurasia. This happened around 22 million years ago, at the beginning of the Miocene epoch. They were able to migrate to North America using a land bridge connecting Russia to Alaska, which exposed itself when sea levels were lower about 20,000 years ago, during the upper stage of the Pleistocene epoch. During this time, Proboscideans took many amazing shapes and sizes, like the shovel-jawed Platybelodon, the modern elephant-looking Paleoloxodon, the four-tusked Gomphothere, the American mastodon, the iconic mammoths, and the elephantids of today. Now, I can make a whole video on mammoths, but I'll keep it short, because this video is already very long as it is. Mammoths are some of my favorite elephantids, my favorite, of course, being the African bush elephant, and there are so many cool things about them. There was the colossal Columbian mammoth, which was the largest mammoth, the iconic woolly mammoth, which was covered in a mat of fur, and the Channel Islands pygmy mammoths, who became a fraction of the size of their Columbian mammoth ancestors. I could talk about their colossal 2.5 meter long curved tusks, or about the fact that the last surviving mammoths were having a genetic meltdown while the pyramids of Giza were being built. But I won't. Because the most intriguing mammoth fact I know is this: modern day Asian elephants are more closely related to mammoths than they are to African elephants. I'll see you later.